Welcome back, Western Slope. It's a fantastic Friday. I'm Josephine Sage, covering for Chief Meteorologist Russ Pappas while he's gone. Let's jump right into the forecast. We are expecting some storms in the early to mid work week, but before those storms hit, we are expecting temperatures that are just kind of creeping on up closer to those seasonal averages throughout the weekend, with some blue skies, maybe a little bit of some cloud coverage in those afternoon hours, and we can expect up to 2 feet of snow accumulation, but that's only going to be in those higher elevation areas over those northwestern mountains, over the northern mountains, and even over the central mountains for us here in the Grand Valley. We're not really expecting too much precip, but we are going to have temperatures returning back to normal in the early work week. So throughout this weekend, we are looking at temperatures that are going to be just a tad bit below what we're typically used to, about by 5 to 10 degrees. We're going to be in those mid 30s and even those low 40s until we return back to those seasonal averages in the early work week while these storms roll on in. If we take a look ahead, we are going to have some pretty calm weather all around the United States. We've got the system impacting parts of the eastern U.S. as it's kind of exiting today. As we get into Saturday, we've got an overall rather quiet area or weather across the U.S. As we get into Sunday, also it's going to continue, but Sunday we've got a chance for a little bit of some precip to start moving on down from that Seattle area, and that's what's going to hit us in that middle of the work week, is that weather from that northeastern area of the United States. But tonight we're going to get down to 20 degrees in Grand Junction, 15 in Montrose. Further east of us, we're feeling down in those teens, and even down -6 in Gunnison. So a little bit cooler as you move into those higher elevation areas. Keep that in mind if you've got those weekend travel plans, because that means those roads could be icy and slick as you're headed over the mountain, or even if you're headed anywhere along for us in the Grand Valley, because with a little bit of those warmer temperatures we were experiencing earlier today, those roads could be a little bit wet, icy, and even slushy as you head out and about. Looking at our almanac, we're going to look into tomorrow. We're looking at 39 degrees for a high instead of our typical 48, and on the low end 20 instead of our typical 25. So like I said, we are just about 10 degrees short of what we're typically used to, but that's only going to be the trend throughout the weekend. We're going to get right up there close to that 48-degree range as we even get into Monday and Tuesday. Our dog walking forecast for tomorrow, folks, will look 24 degrees at 9 a.m., 33 at noon, and 36 at 3 p.m., all with those sunny skies. Just a little bit of some cloud coverage as we get into tomorrow. And if we want to take a look at tomorrow, we're going to peak again at 39 degrees in Grand Junction, 38 in Montrose, and in these areas we're looking in those mid-20s and even those mid-30s as well further east of us. Getting into our overall setup, we'll notice that this is that storm that I was just chatting about, kind of sticking around that northwestern area. And in the morning, this is Sunday, folks, we don't have to worry about this for about another 24 hours, even 36 hours. Isolated rain and snow showers are possible as they're kind of more focused along that Canadian border. As we get into the afternoon hours on Sunday, we've got a better chance for snow beginning to move into that northwest U.S. area. And as we get into the evening hours, we'll notice that's when it's going to start moving closer to us. That's when it's going to start going through Wyoming, where they've got a chance also for that snow accumulation. But we'll notice right here, this little bit of darker blue area, that's what's going to be focused over those northern mountains. That's what's going to give the Craig, Meeker, Steamboat about that 2 feet of that snow accumulation that I was just chatting about. The Continental Divide also has a chance for that kind of heavy bit of snow to move on through. But we'll notice in the early work week, we're going to remain back close to those seasonal average temperatures, which will hopefully give us a little bit of melting of that snow accumulation. This is that high pressure system that's been sticking around with us, but we'll notice this is that low pressure system as it's going to kind of push that on out and bring us a little bit of that chance for precip. That low pressure system does not necessarily mean a really, really fat drop in cool temperatures. We're just going to have a little bit of a drop as we get into the weekend and even into the early work week. A look ahead though, Friday, the system is going to continue to exit that northeast U.S. area. Saturday, quick system impacting the portions of the southwest U.S. and then Sunday is when that storm system is going to start moving on in for a chance to hit us here on the western slope. But taking a look at the extended forecast, Saturday, Sunday, 39, 42. Then we're going to peak on up closer to that seasonal average in those mid-40s. But we'll notice middle of the work week, we're going to take a drop in temperatures down into those 30s again. But it does not look like we've got a cold front kind of moving on in. We should be sticking around at least between 5 to 10 degrees around the seasonal average for the rest of the work week. Montrose is also going to have the same kind of trend where we're going to peak up for temperatures on Monday and Tuesday before that precip moves on into the western slope.